The Columbus City Council meeting for August 1st, 2022 will come to order. In compliance with the Open Meeting Act, Nebraska Revised Statute 84-1407, a current copy of this act is posted in the meeting room. Madam Clerk, would you please call roll?
Bulkley.
Here.
Augustine Schulte.
Here.
Barr.
Here.
Hemer.
Here.
Jablonski.
Here.
Kreshaw.
Here.
Lohr.
Here.
Roth.
Here.
Schilling.
Here.
Mayor Bulkley.
Thank you, Mrs. Council President.
Our Father, thank you for the opportunity to serve our fellow citizens. Please give us your wisdom and guidance to make the proper decisions entrusted to this governmental body. May our conduct show respect, honor, and courtesy to each other, as well as to all our citizens. Amen. Holy, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose cross stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. If at any time during our meeting this evening, anyone in our audience would like to come forward and talk to an item on our agenda, we'd ask that you give your name, address, and that you'd limit your comments to 5 minutes or less. I would also ask for your forgiveness if I happen to slur words this evening. I have a mouthful of gauze from a wisdom tooth that got pulled at 3 o'clock this afternoon. So with that, we'll go to the consent agenda.
Item 4, consent agenda. The following items are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the City Council member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from consent status and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 4A, minutes of the July 18th, 2022 City Council meeting. Item 4B, change date of the first meeting in September of 2022 to 7 p.m. Tuesday, September 6th, due to the Labor Day holiday. Item 4C, resolution number R22-95, authorizing payment of various improvement projects. And item 4D, payroll and bills on file. Mr. Mayor and Council, is there anything you would like removed from consent status?
Mr. Mayor, I move that the items on the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Brings us up to reports of council committees.
Item 10A, Committee of the Whole, August 1st, 2022. Item 10A1, Fiscal Year 2022-23. Item 10A1A, 1% Restricted Funds Authority. The Committee of the Whole recommends the Restricted Funds Authority be increased by an additional 1% for Fiscal Year 2022-23.
Tara, would you take a moment and just explain to the public the whole restricted funds? I know we did that during the Committee of the Whole, but I think it's a common question that gets raised often, and I know it would be helpful just to make sure people that maybe didn't tune in for the Committee of the Whole.
Sure. Restricted funds for the city are basically all taxes that are raised, property taxes, properties in lieu of taxes in lieu of property tax. All of those are restricted, and by state statute, there's a number of rules the city has to follow as a local government agency when setting a budget. And one of those rules is we cannot raise our restricted funds by more than 2.5%. And if a supermajority of the council approves authorizing staff, we can raise another 1%. So 3.5% maximum of those restricted funds. So that's what it is. It's
And this is something that we do we look at every year when we do our budget.
correct.
And we have this discussion every year when we do our budget. And in those years that I can remember, the council has always looked at approving this and considering it as
Yes, it's always been approved.
as maybe like an insurance
Emergency.
policy, that it's there if it's needed,
Correct.
correct? Thank you. Okay,
Mr. Mayor, I move that this committee report be adopted.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to adopt this committee report. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 10A1B, the fee schedule. The Committee of the Whole recommends approval of the fee schedule for fiscal year 2022-23 as amended to eliminate that aquatic patrons 3 and under pay regular admissions and the fees for golf include tax.
Mr. Mayor, I move that this report be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the fee schedule as amended. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 10A1C, the pay plan, no recommendation is needed at this time. Item 10A1D, the capital improvement plan. The proposed capital improvement plan was discussed at Committee of the Whole meeting. There's no recommendation for Committee of the Whole, as the capital improvement plan will likely have amendments, and it will be included in the budget hearing.
All right.
Item 10A1E, the budget. Again, no motion is necessary. It will be included in the public hearing, budget hearing, at a future meeting.
Brings us up to new business.
Item 13A, proposal from Rfcc Communications Consulting in an amount not to exceed $14,000 for Phase 1 of the Public Radio System Consulting Services for the Joint Communications Center.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the proposal from RFCC Communication Consulting for Phase 1 of Public Radio System Consulting Services be accepted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye, those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Item 13B, comments from the mayor and city council members in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. No discussion may be held on this item.
Do we have any comments from council members this evening? Yes, Councilman Jablonski.
Several of us attended the Northeast Economic Development annual meeting at which an award was presented to Columbus called the Doug B. Ryder Accomplished Community Award. And in the comments, it says, Columbus, with their tireless efforts in economic development, have demonstrated that with partnership, planning, and a little patience and lots of persistence, a community can pull together to accomplish large-term projects that create lasting impact and improve the quality of life for our current and future residents. I think it was a nice award for all the hard work that we've done. So just wanted to comment on that.
Absolutely. It was,
Community.
Mayor.
it was nice to be there and enjoy, yes.
Yeah. Well, that and tag on Mr. Jablonski's, that is out of 16 counties and out of 85 communities that were considered.
Very good. Very good. Any other discussion from council members? I do believe, I know some people in the public were wondering how our weekend on the sandbar went. I had been asked that by a couple, and we even had that discussion here. Nobody's got an exact answer. I think the levee survived reasonably well. We're not sure of the turnout and how it went with the public, so we'll have to get some feedback from the public and just hear how it it went, but anyway, we'll see about future events like that if they come forward. All right, we'll move on to resolutions.
Item 14A, resolution number R22-96, approving the Constitution and bylaws for the Columbus Reserve Firefighters.
Mr. Mayor, I move that resolution number R22-96 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R22-96. Any discussion?
I guess I would just like to thank the chief for all of the work that he invested in putting this together, and I think it'll be a good, come on up and say your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, credit where credit is due. This was definitely a joint effort amongst the career staff and volunteers to build this program. And pending approval tonight, we're going to start it up tomorrow, and we'll keep everybody posted on how things go.
Great,
Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14B, resolution number R22-97, approving the agreement with Columbus Public Schools for use of property for sports and other recreational activities.
Mr. Mayor, I move resolution number R22-97 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R22-97. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay.
We were on 97, right? There we go.
Motion passes.
Item 14C, resolution number R22-98, approving the amendment to the agreement with Pictometry International Corporation to decrease the cost per year for aerial photography, digital map products, and licenses from $19,140.33 to $18,150 for the next 3 years for the engineering department.
Mr. Mayor, move resolution number R22-98 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R22-98. Any discussion?
Amazing, we got something reduced once.
It's very rare.
All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 14D, resolution number R22-99, approving the amendment with number 1 with Capital City Electric Incorporated to provide for a guaranteed maximum price of $539,691 for upgrades to the Pawnee Park baseball field lighting.
Mr. Mayor, move the resolution number R22-99 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R22-99. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. That brings us up to ordinances on their second reading.
Item 16A, ordinance number 22-16, approving the amendment to the Unified Land Development Ordinance to allow gaming facilities and commercial recreation in an RR rural residential district zone with approval of a special use permit.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the rules be suspended and ordinance number 22-16 be read by number only.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 22-16 by number only. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Ordinance number 22-16.
Mr. Mayor, I move that ordinance number 22-16 be adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance number 22-16. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Meeting adjourned.